Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, law enforcement officers and representatives from all over this country. On behalf of the Linehan family, we're truly grateful for the warm hugs and handshakes and condolences. We thank you. My name is Jared Clark, and I'm married to Ty's sister, Melanie. And I have been nominated to read Ty's story written by his brothers and his sister. Ty Ryan Linehan was born July 16th, 1977 to Randy and Debbie Linehan. He was born 11 months and 2 weeks after his older brother Jerry, which he never let Jerry forget. After a few years, his younger siblings, Melanie and Kyle, joined the family. When her kids teasingly asked her who her favorite child was, Debbie would always respond, "I have 4 favorite kids, but Ty was the best baby." He was a happy, loving kid from the start, and Debbie found out how big his heart was when he saw a homeless woman after grocery shopping. Ty began to cry and asked his mom if he could bring her home instead of Instead of having her move in, Ty settled on offering her food they had just bought. As a child, Ty enjoyed camping, fishing, hunting with his family, and getting into trouble with his friends. But most of all, making other people laugh. Ty was always making his own fun, like when, as a young boy, he climbed up to join his older brother Jerry on the top of the bunk bed. He began throwing articles off the bed in dramatic fashion. Here goes Jerry's pillow. Here goes Jerry's blanket. And here goes Jerry. He proceeded to push Jerry off the top bunk, breaking his collarbone. Ty was a fun-loving teenager who was always looking for the next adventure, but he did not love schoolwork. When Ty was a senior in high school, he was looking for help in math. His 14-year-old sister, Melanie, was a freshman, and they were both taking geometry. Ty came up with a plan to have Melanie make him a cheat sheet before each test in order to pass the class. Melanie was hesitant until Ty promised to pay her back with driving lessons. Neither of them were successful. Ty joined the Air Force after graduating high school in 1996. Over his 6 years of service, Ty was stationed at several Air Force bases. And during this time, he became more disciplined and hardworking. He was a stronger person because of these experiences and was prepared to work for the life he wanted. He left the Air Force in 2002 and returned home to Sacramento, ready to start his next chapter in life. He didn't grow out of his adventurous self completely, though. 2 months after he left the Air Force, he intentionally set his little brother Kyle on fire in a carefully planned stunt that included multiple layers of clothing and rubbing alcohol. Don't worry, though, they were safe because Kyle was standing in the middle of a river. After very successfully completing his journeyman training to become an electrician, Ty helped create the business Linehan Electric together with his dad. His dad was so impressed by Ty's natural abilities and constantly bragged to the rest of the family that Ty was the smartest person on any of the job sites and could solve problems most experienced electricians struggled with. Ty admired his dad and looked up to him and considered him one of his best friends and cherished the years he was able to work side by side with him. His newly discovered talent for learning drove him to pursue other interests. If Ty was interested in something, he had an endless determination to be great at it. This led him to become a competitive shooter and a distance runner, running 10Ks and half marathons. He also learned so much about growing hot peppers that he could and did talk for hours on the subject. He was even spotted running a half marathon in a full-body chili pepper costume suit on one hot sunny day. Ty's life was blessed in 2006 when he married the love of his life, Jessica. On his first date with Jessica, Ty walked up to her apartment and noticed a tall wooden shoe rack just inside the front door. Jessica complained that the shoe rack wasn't sturdy enough. Luckily, Ty had his work truck with him. He left and came back upstairs with a drill and some screws and secured the shoe rack to the wall. The day he introduced Jessica to his parents and siblings, they begged him to make her a part of the family. They knew instantly that Jessica was the perfect balance of structure and order to Ty's adventurous nature. The beautiful part of their relationship was she loved his goofball side, and Ty had the freedom to be himself and pursue his passions and interests. She stood by and supported him as he transitioned careers from an electrician to a police officer. She had endless patience when things did not go according to plan and was always loving and encouraging. Ty loved Jessica with his whole heart. He respected her, admired her, and loved to be in his company. It is said that behind every great man is an even greater woman, and that is especially true with Jessica. Almost immediately after getting married, Ty and Jessica had two beautiful children, Austin and Sydney. He was so excited and proud to be a dad. It gave him new purpose and made him want to become a better person. Ty was always the fun dad. He took Austin and Sydney skiing and snowboarding every weekend in the winter. He took them shooting, hunting, and fishing. He loved to spoil them with treats and tell dad jokes, even if they rolled their eyes at him. Ty could never turn down an opportunity to spend time with Sydney. He loved to take her on day trips, be her personal handyman, and take her to daddy-daughter dances. Ty also made them do jobs around the house. Austin was in charge of mowing the lawn in the backyard and was frustrated that the lawnmower kept breaking down. He asked Dad if they could get a new lawnmower, but Ty told him that lawnmowers are expensive and he didn't want to buy one. Instead of spending money on a new lawnmower, Ty decided to buy a plasma cutter and a welder and start building a custom smoker with Austin. Today, Austin still has the broken down lawnmower, but on the bright side, he now has a brand new smoker and some awesome tools. In the past few years, Ty started studying religion. He had questions, and his study and prayer led him to join the Gold Country Baptist Church. This was the same church his grandma and great-grandma attended earlier in his life, but he didn't know at the time. Ty became a deeply religious man, and being Christian became a major focus in his life. He had weekly Bible study classes at his house and ministered to others in the community. He shared Bible verses with his friends both at work and at home, and he was a bright beacon of light and positivity, and his positivity and forgiving nature were infectious. During traffic stops, Ty would often strike up conversations with the people he pulled over. He loved talking to them so much that they would have to cut him off from conversations so they could leave. If you were to ask Ty how he would like to be remembered, he would say that he loved God, he loved his wife, and he loved his kids. Ty had a big infectious smile and a big loyal heart, but it was the million little things that he did that made him so special.